the Conservatives in the House of Lords, it's a weird little confusion they've got themselves into. Because shortly after the election, the media was getting briefings saying that the Conservatives wanted, or Boris especially apparently wanted to reform the House of Lords and change it into an elected chamber and abolish peerages, lifelong peerages. Then he goes and appoints two Conservative MPs who either were not standing or lost their seats in the most recent election to lifelong peerages. What the hell is going on with Boris Johnson and the House of Lords? What the hell is going on with the Conservatives in the House of Lords? Now, okay, I'm not going to sit here and start questioning merit or lack of merit of certain people who've been appointed to the House of Lords. I have no truck with the House of Lords. I don't like the institution of the House of Lords. I do think we need an unelected second chamber as a chamber of oversight. I don't think peers should be appointed in the way that they currently are. And I especially have an issue with former politicians becoming peers. I would prefer to see a technical chamber, essentially. Experts from various different fields being appointed on a non-permanent basis by an independent committee, preferably with maximum regional representation and all the rest of it. Yeah, that's a logistical nightmare, I understand. But that's my ideal world second chamber, but that's not what we're going to get. So do I want a second elected chamber? Probably not. I mean, we've seen what happens with that in the US. We've seen how this works in the Senate in the States. We've seen how this works in the Senate in Australia. It's usually a shambles, and it's just somewhere else for things to go to die. Especially legislation that's generally pretty popular. So yeah, I'm not sure if an elected House of Lords is the answer. I'm also against completely abolishing a second chamber. I mean, can you imagine if Parliament had complete control over everything that passes? Look at the disability benefits restructuring and how that was ping-ponged backwards and forwards to the House of Lords. Look at all sorts of Brexit legislation that was sent backwards and forwards between the House of Commons and Lords. We need a second chamber. Sorry, but that's how I feel about it. But an elected second chamber, at least in the way that people are talking about it, where it becomes like a Senate style thing, no, I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, the Conservatives are talking out both sides of their mouth at the moment on the House of Lords, and I wonder how much of this is because of Farage, his new Reform Party that's being heralded, which will be his next big failure, or if this is something that Boris has always wanted to do and never really been able to do, but now he can do it because he has such a massive majority. But then surely the House of Lords would vote against it. So is it likely ever going to pass? It's being sent apparently to a year-long constitutional review committee, which probably means it's going to get kicked into the long grass and we're never going to hear anything of it ever again. But how can you propose something like that and then appoint two former MPs to the House of Lords as lifelong peers? That doesn't make any sense, especially considering one of them you're essentially appointing to be a continuity cabinet minister until your major reshuffle at the end of January. That doesn't make any sense. So yet again, Boris Johnson making zero sense. This surprises nobody, but just thought it was an interesting thing to bring up.